All right. Barbara has an opening reading.
By Alice Berry. Children of the earth and sky, we are nurtured, sustained, given warmth and light from above and below. Supported by earth's strong, firm crust, we build our homes, till the fields, plant our gardens and orchards. When we turn from self and seek to be aware, we will find holy light in human faces, in blossom, birdsong, and sky. Then earth is truly our home, and we are one with all earth's creatures, parents of earth's children yet to be.
All right. We'll do the lighting of the chalice, and I have different words this time, so I'll just read it. We gather this hour as a people of faith with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning in celebration of life we share together. And our opening hymn is "'Tis a Gift to Be Simple." It'll play through once, and then we'll sing along. I didn't think to have a basket for offering. I don't know if anybody brought their offering with them, but otherwise,
I can grab one if we need.
yeah. If you have an offering to share this week, let us know. Alice is the treasurer. We can just give it to her.
I just have an envelope if you want to just put it in an envelope.
And it is with gratitude that we take any gifts to this community, and we, with gratitude, give to this community. And now's the time we have for sharing of joys and concerns. If you have a joy or concern, come forward and light a candle, and just like we used to do in person. Isn't that awesome? I'll just leave these out here like this. And we got a thing for sand to put them in, and share your joy or concern, and get to celebrate this together.
I have one. I'll grab the candle. As a follow-up, I lit a candle last week for Mads King, who used to do childcare at our church. They had surgery on the 11th. It went well. It's going to be a long road to recovery. But I talked to their brother yesterday out in the yard, and he's just kind of like, yep, they're just doing, just getting there. So there was some sitting up that happened in the ICU, which was good. And so hopefully everything will go well.
I have a joy.
Okay, Megan?
Or maybe concern. Today is my oldest daughter's, should I say her age? Birthday.
Wow.
You know what that means is that it's the anniversary of your motherhood as well.
Yes. That's true, Alice. I recognize your voice. That's true.
You can do one, and Sissy can do the other one. Let her do the fishy one first.
You want the fish one first? So,
Say it out loud. The first one is we had an accident in our fish tank and lost our beloved fish a couple of weeks ago, and we just buried them yesterday. So it was very sad. And the second one,
the second one is a joy because Isabel and I are now aunts.
my oldest daughter had a baby 2 weeks ago as well, and so I'm a grandma now, and they're aunts.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I will light a candle for my mother. Hopefully she'll be coming home within the next day or two and have a speedy recovery from COVID.
Thank you.
So Thursday was Aaron's 40th birthday,
Wow.
and he and Sarah went to Hawaii, and they got back. They're coming back today. So hopefully they had a wonderful time. He kept on saying, he said, everything was just ridiculous, which means it's really, really good.
This is Joy. I've been having fun these past 2 days, celebrating my birthday. That was on Friday.
Yay.
And also embarking on the journey of gardening in our backyard. So.
Yay.
Well, I'd just like to say it's a joy to have people with us in person and also virtually online, and so far everything seems to be working.
Don't say that.
Oh, it's good. Yay. I'm grateful.
Superstitious.
I know.
There are no others. I'll light a final candle for all the joys and concerns that remain unspoken but in our hearts. Oh, maybe we should have an announcement about our social justice donation thing.
Oh, right.
You want to talk about that, Kelly?
Sure. So every year we budget a little bit of money into our annual budget for some social justice donation. And we hope that throughout the year, but we haven't remembered, somebody would have an idea of an organization that they would like the church to support. And so because next Sunday is our last Sunday of the church year, we don't want to just not spend the money. So we thought of two organizations, and they seem, well, one's not an organization, but I'll tell you about it. We thought of Unitarian Relief and Planned Parenthood.
Hello.
The organizations. Hey, Jim, welcome. Organizations that we would like as a church to donate to. So after some discussion at the council meeting, we came up with an idea of at least from that $600 that we have budgeted in our budget, $200 would go to Planned Parenthood, $400 would go to a family in Poland that is supporting 17 Ukrainian refugees in their home, on their farm. And if people will donate, they will be able to support even more people. And so it's a connection that Deb, which is Jim Grindelin's sister, has. So we would like to give the money, the $400 to that organization or that effort. However, we thought maybe the church membership would also be interested in donating or adding to that money. No pressure at all, but if you are interested, let us know and we could set aside or send additional money either to Planned Parenthood or to this Polish that's supporting the Ukrainian refugees.
So should they let Alice know privately?
Yeah, let me know, and we'll figure out a system, of channeling that money through either PayPal or a check to either group.
Yeah.
So I haven't figured out the system yet, but we'll figure it out.
Or maybe Jim could do that part. Jim, did you want to say something when you said hello?
He actually got a phone call that he needed to take.
I'll talk to Jim about it.
Okay.
Okay. Or you can talk to me. I'll find out the info from Debbie and, okay.
Thank you.
So I'd like to share with you an adaptation of a story by Janine K. Grossmeyer from her book, Lamp in Every Corner, our UU storybook. In the city of Prague, in the land of Czechoslovakia, in the year 1923, there was a church. But the building didn't look much like a church. It had no bells, no spires, no stained glass windows. It had no organ to make beautiful music. It didn't even have a piano. It had no carvings of wood or statues of stone. It had no candles or chalices. It had no flowers. The church did have some things. It had 4 walls, a ceiling, and a floor, and had a door and a few windows. It had some wooden chairs, but that was all, plain and simple. Except the church also had people who came every Sunday, and it had a minister, and his name was Norbert Capek. He had been a minister at that plain and simple church for 2 years. Every Sunday, Minister Capek went to church. He spoke to the people while they listened and sat quietly in those hard wooden chairs. Then, when he was done speaking, the people would talk a little among themselves and then go home. That was all. No music, no candles, no food, not even donuts and coffee. Springtime came, and the city of Prague and Norbert Capek went out for a stroll. In the city of Prague, and Norbert Capek went out for a stroll. The rains had come, the birds were singing, much like they are now. And the flowers were blooming all over the land, and the world was beautiful. Then an idea came to him, simple and clear, plain as day. The next Sunday, he asked the people in the church to bring a flower or a budding branch or even a twig. Each person was to bring one. What kind, they asked. What color? What size? You choose, he said. Each of you choose what you like. And so on the next Sunday, which was the first day of summer, the people came with flowers of all different colors and sizes and kinds. There were yellow daisies and red roses. There were white lilies and blue asters, dark-eyed pansies and light green leaves, pink, purple, orange, and gold. There were all those colors and more, and airplanes. Flowers filled, we'll let that one go. Flowers filled all the vases, and the church wasn't so plain and simple anymore. Minister Capek spoke to the people while they listened, sitting quiet and still in those hard wooden chairs. These flowers are like ourselves, he said. Different colors, different shapes, different sizes, each needing different care, but each beautiful, each important and special in its own way. And when he was done speaking, the people talked a little among themselves, Then they each chose a different flower from the vases and they went home. And that was all. And it was beautiful, plain, and simple as the day. This is one of my favorite flower communion stories. It's entitled Plain and Simple Beauty. Plain and simple aren't exactly adjectives that we'd use for the times that we live in now. Norbert Capek certainly didn't live in plain and simple times. But the story that I hear when I read these words is about people that were doing the best that they could with what they had. The story is about a man who remembered that no matter what else is going on in the world, no matter how much you have or don't have, no matter how plain, how simple your life is or the world is not, there's always beauty to be found. There's always something to be grateful for. This story makes a point of describing a church that had nothing but 4 walls, a ceiling, a floor, a door, and a few windows. They put a few hard wooden chairs in it and called it a church. That's all there was. But the people are what made this building a church. The people are what brought life and meaning to the building and to every day. And Norbert Capek was committed to teaching people the beauty could be found in the smallest of things, and certainly in each other. And as we move forward from our church year and transition into summer, I hope that you will remember to look for beauty wherever you are and wherever you go. And on those days and in those places that you struggle and are challenged, may you be the beauty that the world needs in that moment.
Thank you. So the flower communion that Dr. Capek originated gives concrete expression to the humanity-affirming principles of our liberal faith. However, the brutal reality is that when the Nazis took control of Prague in 1940, they found Dr. Capek's gospel of inherent worth and beauty of every person to be, as Nazi court records show, quote, too dangerous to the Reich for him to be allowed to live, end quote. Dr. Capek was sent to Dachau, where he was killed the next year during a Nazi medical experiment. This gentle man suffered a cruel death, but his message of human hope and decency lives on through this flower communion, which is widely celebrated today. It is noble and meaning-filled ritual we are about to recreate. This service includes the original prayers of Dr. Capek to help us remember the principles and dreams for which he died.
Does anybody have any more flowers to add? Does everyone online have flowers available? The chimes are beautiful. Whenever Dr. Capek conducted his flower communion in Prague, he would say this proverb as he consecrated the flowers. Infinite Spirit of life, we ask thy blessing on these, thy messengers of fellowship and love. May they remind us, amid diversities of knowledge and of gifts, to be one in desire and affection and devotion to thy holy will. May they also remind us of the value of comradeship, of doing and sharing alike. May we cherish friendship as one of thy most precious gifts. May we not let awareness of another's talents discourage us or sully our relationship, but may we realize that whatever we can do, great or small, the efforts of all of us are needed to do thy work in this world.
It is now time for us to share in the flower communion. I ask that each of you in turn approach the community base and this side of the table here. And do so reverently with a sense of how important it is for each of us to address our world and one another with gentleness, justice, and love. I ask that you select a flower different from the one you brought that particularly appeals to you. Handle it carefully. It is a gift that someone else has brought to you. It represents that person's unique humanity and therefore deserves your kindest touch. Let us share quietly in this Unitarian Universalist ritual of oneness and love. So, feel free to maybe row one, start, and just feel free to take a flower with you. Oh.
Yes, take it.
Okay.
It needs tender loving care.
Yeah, that's from our house plant, and you can just put it in some dirt and you get it home or whatever.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it in water till I go,
Sure.
because that's beautiful.
Go ahead. Oh, I'll go last.
Oh, they're all so beautiful.
Right.
Now listen to the words of Dr. Capek's Flower Communion Prayer. In the name of Providence, which implants in the seed the future of the tree and in the hearts of men and women the longing for people living in human love. In the name of the highest in whom we move and who makes the mother and father, the brother and sister, what they are. In the name of sages and great religious leaders who sacrifice their lives to hasten the coming of peace and justice, let us renew our resolution sincerely to be real brothers and sisters regardless of any kind of bar which estranges one from another. In this holy resolution, may we be strengthened, knowing that we are God's family, that one Spirit, the Spirit of love, unites us. And may we endeavor for a more perfect and more joyful life. Amen.
I have a reading. We believe it is here we must begin to seek the wisdom of children and the graceful way of flowers in the wind. For the children and the flowers are my sisters and my brothers. Their laughter and their loveliness could clear a cloudy day. Like music of the mountains and the colors of the rainbow, they're a promise of the future and a blessing for today. And the song that I am singing is a prayer to non-believers. Come and stand beside us. We can find a better way. It's from John Denver's song, Rhymes and Reasons. We have closing hymn. We have to turn this back on again. For the Beauty of the Earth. Stand beside you and share. 21, I think.
21.
For the beauty of the earth, for the splendor of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around us lies, source of all to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the joy of ear and eye, for the heart and mind's delight, for the mystic harmony, linking sense to sound and sight, source of all to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the wonder of each hour, of the day and of the night, hill and dale and tree and flower, sun and moon and stars of light, source of all to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the joy of human care, sister, brother, parent, child, for the kinship we all share, for all gentle thoughts and mild, source of all to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise.
In the presence of these flowers, these representatives of creation's profound beauty, diverse and unique, but related and interdependent, these flowers which come to us as gifts from we know not where, let's try that again, and which we in turn choose to bring our shared and common altar as gifts to one another. In their presence, we turn our thoughts to the mystery beyond mysteries, to the most sacred, which we never understand fully, but which we are granted revelatory glimpses of in each of these flowers, in each of your faces, and through relationships with neighbors near and far. May they remind us of grace we have known in days past, forgiveness we have been granted and provided, love unearned and shared, recovery begun and established, generosity unforeseen and most sacred, and may they inspire us now in days to come to seek, to notice, to embrace, and to recreate beauty, to give unto the world as exuberant as these flowers.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here.